ready to hop on into the server because it's time. It's time for the upper bracket final. It's time to send one of these teams confirm their spot in IEM Dallas. Team Liquid versus Complexity, a banger matchup between the top teams in NA to determine supremacy. Headed into the first LAN event in North America in just so many years. We're into the fun, and let's do it. Pistol round underway here, John.
Yeah, let's get started, of course. And first map is going to be Overpass. That is picked by Complexity. Second map is Ancient, picked by Liquid. And the third map, as always, the decider, Inferno.
Woo!
In quintessential fashion. All right. So, in my opinion, both good picks from each team, because yesterday Liquid struggled quite a bit on this map against Evil Geniuses, and OC's going to get the opening shot fired here on Grim. 5v4 quickly. Utilities coming in. We'll talk more about the maps afterwards. Fang and JT move on forward. JT trying to find a target here. Naf and OC waiting for their time to strike. OC from Bank, and JT is going to try to wait him out, but now he peeks around that corner. Could get hit in the head, but no, he delivers the killing blow on two. Almost the third. There's the 3K for JT. Nitro and Shocks, the last two standing, and Shocks evens it out of the 2v2. Nitro going to smoke off the bomb. Shock's going to try and push in here. Junior's watching for it, and Junior's going to tag him down to 56. He's trying to get him, and he finally does. Nitro's trying to stick, but he won't be able to. Junior through the smoke, knew where it was planted, and it'll be 1-0 for Complexity.
There we go. Complexity starting off strong. Looked like it was going to be risky as they lost the numbers on approach to site, but never doubted, never wavered. And let's obviously talk about this matchup because it's a really interesting one from storyline perspectives, right? Obviously, Team Liquid and Complexity coming back into the North American scene. This Complexity roster talking a big game. Junior giving an interview where he thought it was 50-50 with Liquid to be the top team in NA. Obviously, Liquid have a different opinion there. They brought OC, the previous opera of this roster, over, and they've been looking phenomenal, to be quite frank, through this bracket. Meanwhile, Complexity got majorly pushed by Godsend, and if you hadn't had a Grimbo massive game where he dropped 38 kills in regulation, 41 in the series, I don't know that Complexity would be in this matchup right now, John. Actually, I do know. They wouldn't.
They would not. Absolutely. Nuke would have gone to Godsend, and it would have been over. It would have been 2-0 for Godsend, and they're the ones facing off against Liquid. But, yeah, Grim, not only with that crazy performance, jumped up to the top of the scoreboard in one map, but we'll get back to it again because these teams want to play. JT going to get the headshot against the Liege. 5v4 in their favor, and that was towards the B site. Looks like they're going to rotate off of that, though, and send 3 players short A, 1 to long. An opportunity potentially for Shocks to catch the long player off guard, but instead he's going to rotate in towards short bathrooms, and OC walked into a Molotov thrown by JT, so he is gone out of the round. And Shocks could still get a flank here, but, oh man, so much damage done.
He wants some money. He wants some money. The SMG. He won't get it. He won't get it. Do these players make it through? Oh my goodness. Are Complexity to get out of this healthy despite the health situation? Grim slips away. The other big narrative storyline, of course, is Grim coming off of this Liquid team, not having a good run with it. Frankly, getting the short end of the stick in a lot of ways from this roster. Now refinding himself within Complexity. He's talked about the fact that he wants to play Liquid. He wants to play EG. He wants to beat them. That it's extra special for him going up against his old teammates and showing them perhaps what they missed. So I think that this is always going to be a classic when we get it, right?
Yeah,
the domestic derby, the top of NA, the kings of North America dueling off, and I'm just so happy we get to cast it, John.
Yeah, and I mean, what we saw from Grim yesterday was what we expected to see from him when he was on Liquid, right? He dropped 84 frags, 98.3 ADR, and a 1.36 rating. It also catapulted him to the top of the stat sheet throughout this closed qualifier at 126 frags, 25.2 frags per map, 1.45 ADR, and 95.9 ADR over the 5 maps that they've played. So, yeah, this is going to be a showcase of skill from both sides. I expect to be very tightly contested if their first map against each other, which was on Vertigo in the RMR, which is a 16-14 win for Complexity, is any indication of what we can expect here, Mike.
Yeah, let's give some additional context as well about this bracket, right? Because obviously this qualifier is sending 2 teams through. So both of these teams could qualify, but whoever wins this matchup secures their spot and secures that top speed out of the quali. Whereas whoever loses is going to have a matchup in the lower bracket with either Godsent or the Evil Geniuses. And either one of those matchups is scary, is dangerous. We saw how much Godsent pushed Complexity yesterday. Both these teams would love to punch their ticket now and not have to think about that.
I think Evil Genius is exposed Overpass a little bit on Liquid side, and Godsend did the same thing, but on Ancient against Complexity. So that's why they both picked into those maps. JT's going to get the headshot on Liege here and open things up on the B side. Just an anti-eco for Complexity. You do have the Deagle of Shocks to worry about a little bit, maybe the 5-7 from NAF, but they're on the outside looking in, and Complexity's got all the angles covered, so this should be a 3-0 lead. And there you go.
Yeah. No issue here. No issue here whatsoever. Is there actually anything to take through for Shocks? I mean, a Deagle? Obviously, there's no sense just throwing away your life, so he's going to try and play for an exit. Maybe see if he can snake a gun away from them into the next round. But he doesn't really need to be too concerned about saving this either. This is a great start for Complexity. It really is nice beginning. And frankly, yesterday, we saw some really good T-sides from them. I mean, I'm thinking about Nuke, obviously, but they went to 1 lead before it got weird. But we don't talk about that. But even on Ancient, right? Like, their CT side was... the T side was where they were more interesting. It's an interesting trend for this team, and we'll have to see if it carries on today here against Liquid. If they can stack up rounds on their T side, I mean, obviously it's a huge benefit, but then you have to be able to follow through on that promise once the half switches. I've just realized how low poly the model on that bike lock is over on the back gate. It's supposed to be like, like one of those like rubberized chains, and it just doesn't look like that at all. Gotta save those pixels.
Yeah, gotta get that frame rate higher, right?
It's the optimization, because no one will ever look at that chain except for us in that specific camera angle. Ooh, time. Contact. Floppy looked like he was gonna peek on in. So, John, I put my order in for the limited edition floppy shirt. Did you?
Oh, I did not.
Not a believer. Shun the non-believer. I also sent him a message that said, sign my flop shirt, which he just liked. So, I don't know. With Ricky, you never know what that actually means. I'm going to harass him with a marker and the shirt the next time I'm at a LAN with him, though. He's signing my flop shirt. If you're listening to this, Ricky, you can't escape. I will get that floppy signature on my floppy shirt.
Maybe he'll surprise you and sign it before it's shipped.
There you go. There you go. Make it happen, Complexity merch people. Gonna guess it doesn't ship. I don't think Ricky's hand packing these, He's got some stuff going on. Ricky being floppy, if you hadn't picked up on that, and a Liege is gonna hand deliver some bullets, accompanied by NAF. They're the shipping department here over on the B site. They will ship Complexity straight out of the round.
Yeah, honestly, on Overpass, it's hard to say who's going to come out on top because both teams don't necessarily play it that much. But I can pretty much guarantee you that Complexity picked this after seeing yesterday's performance by Liquid against EG, and they figured they could do just as well. But yeah, if you look at the stats for Complexity, 3 games played on Overpass over the last 3 months, 1 win, 2 losses, and a +1 round differential. Almost the same thing for Liquid, a little lower on the round differential. 3 games played, 1 win, 2 losses, and a -11 round differential.
And the interesting thing to me as well is when OC was on this roster, or sorry, on the Complexity roster, to be more specific, back when they were Extra Salt, he was really good at Overpass in particular. They played a lot of it. It's been a minute, but they used to play a lot of it, and we used to call it OC Pass. So it's interesting to me that hasn't necessarily translated in Liquid. And then meanwhile, on the other side, we're going to see how Junior does, obviously, once the halves are switched and he's got the big green. He does have the big green here. So let's see if he can get it going on the attack. He's looking for that fight early on, and OC will not give it to him. Instead, Shocks will collect from in the connector. And that's a freebie taken for Liquid, and they'll take the geography as well.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, historically, Overpass is a very strong map for Complexity, particularly when they were known as Extra Salt. But once they made the switch to Junior, not by their choice because OC was picked up by Liquid, it just seems like they've shied away from it a little bit more. But, maybe some of that confidence from the past came through here in their pick.
I think part of it was also... Okay, there's the entry from Fang. Shocks
That was a little rough for Shocks.
That engagement. Yeah, bit of a whiff for Rue. It happens. He already got 1 kill, He can settle back in. See if his teammates can follow up here. This is interesting. Look at the flank coming from Fountain. Alicia's on the back lines. Is anyone watching for it? Grim's just slipped into the smoke, but as that fades. Oh, they're looking. They're looking. Grim's going to have it. Major damage done from Alicia, but it's not the kills. And he needed one there. Did he slip away? No. OC comes to collect, slips into the bathrooms, realizes there's a gap, there's a window, and he exploits, but no one is now on B. And as they try and flood back into heaven, there's a chance to get this bomb planted early. What an attack! Floppy! Okay, a 1v1. How much time? 15 seconds. Uh-oh. Nitro might just have this on the clock. Fang's got a sprint. Nitro just has to not give him a fight, and I think this one's done. I don't even know if Fang has time. He just rerouted, so he definitely doesn't have time now. It's over. It's over.
Oh,
Nitro wins it on the clock. What a disgusting shot from Floppy.
I know.
But a great response from Nitro.
He had like half a second to react to that shot and realize that there was a player peeking out of heaven because he also was probably distracted by the peek from walkway. So anyway, look, wicked shot from Floppy. Unfortunate that the bomb goes down and Fang can't get to it, at least for complexity. But Liquid, hang on. They get a second round on the board for themselves, and well, they're going to try and make it 3 now, although Complexity still have enough to get a very decent buy up here. It's going to be 4 AKs. Junior settling for the Deagle. We'll see how this pans out. But the matchup to watch, in my opinion, is going to be Grim versus Liege, because they're the two that have been popping off the most as of late. And if you look at Liege over the 5 maps played here, 117 frags, plus 45 kill to death differential, 109.2 ADR. I think he's been up above 100 ADR for every single map, but Fang's going to get the opener here on Shocks, 5v4 in favor of Complexity. That's a good start for them. There could be another engagement happening between Floppy and Elige very shortly too, and Elige gets his clock clean by Floppy. 5v3 in favor of Complexity. They have a lot of map control now too, Mike. But yeah, Alicia, sorry, Mike. Alicia's had 100 plus ADR in 4 of the 5 maps, in fact.
He's good. He's good.
Yes, very.
Your point has landed, John. He is, in fact, good at the game of Counter-Strike. This round, though, let's see if Nap really does want to poke back up towards A. Because right now, the gamble stack coming through from Liquid, right, tips their hand that if this is an A take, it's probably a save. And that seems to be the case. Nap backing away. Thought about it for a second. Decided, you know what, probably not a good idea, and Nitro's now been collected. Floppy coming in for the punish now on the periphery. Can he take any more guns out of their hands? One already found. This is looking very good for Complexity. But what does Liquid find? What do they escape with? Floppy doesn't want to really give this fight away, does he? Not being aggressive with it. Obviously, the money's not there for Cole, so it's not a bad idea to take their buy through.
No, I don't mind it. I mean, he managed to get one for free, you know, basically a player backing into him, into his crosshair, so he was happy with that and said, okay, just going to keep my AK moving forward, and they're going to let Liquid survive with 2 rifles as well. But one of those, the big green, which can be a very significant difference maker, and that's falling down. Complexity, though, retake and restore their 2-round lead.
John, someone in chat is saying they just played against Elige in DM, and they got 1 kill on him. So, props to you, Ari Bari. You're the reason that Elige is warmed up into this game. Or, if he plays poorly, you're the problem. You've put all the burden of responsibility on your shoulders. It's entirely about you now.
It's a lot of pressure.
Now we find out if they're a Liquid or a Complexity fan, right? Did they try and sabotage him? Or do they bring the support? I don't know. But I do know there's a fast play coming through the fountain, and, well, a little bit of a flash misfire might slow them down just a touch, but now Napdel was spotted, and he's down for the count. Good damage, not a kill. Damage.
I'm surprised he does that much damage given the situation, right? Because Grim spotted him out immediately, but a nice timely swing from Nap to at least get Grim down to half, and Fang barely alive at 9 HP. The thing is, it's still a pistol round here for Liquid, so they're going to have to take some more risks to try and come out with this one, and that's what they're doing here. They're sending 3 players pushing down long, and the other one, that's OC, all alone on the B site with his AWP. In fact, pushed up farther than I would expect with that op.
Is the flashbang here? It is. No, sorry. All the utilities on OC on the other side of the map. So, are they expecting more players to come through here? Junior collects the first. And he's going to be just fine to ride this one through. Never mind, Elige. Looking like he is well warmed up from the deathmatch server. But it should be all fine. Now OC gets to play a game of hide the op, but they're coming to his site is the problem. Now OC with 2 players isolated. If they make their move before their teammates come up, there's a non-zero chance that OC makes something of this round. 30 seconds, sorry, as well. Counting is hard. As the hit comes in, he spotted the shadow. He knows they're coming. He's tagged 1. Now they're dancing around the pillar with him. It's a dance of death, and let's see if OC can play his part. No. Blindsided by Grim. It's over and done with. A little bit of cost, but nothing substantial as Complexity cruised to 5.
Yeah, a little more substantial on the Liquid side, losing the AWP. It could have been a save call for OC, but if he wanted to try and fight it, I can't really blame him. He's extremely good with that op, but it didn't work out at all. Speaking of OC, in fact, throughout this qualifier, he's had more rifle frags than he has op frags. 40 rifle frags and 32 op frags, representing 41% of his frags coming from the rifles. So, I mean, we talked about it in the past, how good he is with the AK, with the A1S. I mean, it continues to shine through here against the competition he's been facing. Elige is going to face off against Floppy, and Floppy's going to lose that, giving Liquid the early man advantage.
A little bit of a lead. Looking like they're going to follow up on it as well. Shocks collects. And it's not looking so good for Complexity. They have been stunned. The question is, can they get towards the site? Deal out a little bit of damage, perhaps. Play the long game. Even if they're at a massive disadvantage into this round. 2 players out towards Monster. A little bit of a lurky poo from JT. Yesterday, he was ripping shots on the entries. Doing a really good job of it. This time, it's Junior on the other side of the map to collect in the op duel. That's further damage done. 2 bodies now lost. A 2v3. This is a lot more obtainable. And Shox' elbow's been spotted. Whoa, fortunate that took a little bit to recognize. Dancing around the dumpster. It's very awkward for Grim, and he gets caught out by the flashbang. All going to be on the Junior now. 2 players. Positions known. Junior wants to find an engagement. So you realize they're both still towards Optimus. He's wary about Bank, but it's the tight up player who's going to be the big issue. Shox already popping the shots. Pre-fires and sets up for the kill.
So Liquid back on the board here. But economy's still good enough, Mike, for Complexity to buy right back into this.
Elige getting aggressive. He wants a little bit of a rumble early. Trying to bring them in for a tumble, but it's Nitro elsewhere who collects on Floppy. So the B lurk is out of play, but the connector player goes down in a trade. Coming hunting. OC dropping that C4 right down onto the cobblestones. Right down to the paving steps. He spotted the shadow as well, so he knows Grim's close at hand, and he wants to just go into the fight. Get into the Thunderdome. Has supported his back, so he knows he just has to face forward. Can they dig him out of this spot? He's got major reinforcements now, and as they come around to check, he's looking to collect Fang, his former comrade. Just step a little bit further into the crosshair, man. Timing shot doesn't hit. Is the bomb retrieved? No, Naf has it instead on the spam. This is so costly for Complexity. A 2v4 now with very little to operate with on towards the site. They do have util on Junior. But even with that available, the threat of a flank exists in their mind. They're kind of frozen up, but that kill might just light the way. A beacon to push them further on towards A, and indeed, they're going the other way. 30 seconds. They're going to trust the rotate. And the question is, what does Elige get? He gets nothing. Now the rotate's available. Now they can dive. Now they can dip. Now they can duck on in towards the B site. And a bomb plant might just be available to them.
Yeah, OC's going to take a shot through the smoke there. Not connecting on much of anything. And Complexity's going to get that bomb planted. OC waiting a walkway. Nitro looking to support. So it will be a pincer attack on the attempted retake here. No utility really to work with. There is a flash and a nade, but that's on Complexity's side. Junior peeks into the angle. Oh, so poorly. And Nitro is going to take down Grim. I'm not sure what Junior was trying to attempt there, but Liquid are going to take the round.
That they are. The bomb plant, though, does mean actually the money's not as good as I thought it might be. Grim's got a little bit of cash in reserve, but this could just be one of those old half-buy type rounds. So here's the chance for Liquid to perhaps build. The AK does come out for Grim, but otherwise I'm imagining it's going to be pistols, SMG, keep that money relatively healthy, and keep the fight going. Still a slim lead for Complexity, but this should be in the operative word, be just about equalizing.
Complexity do have the AK in Grim's hands, but everyone else settling for those pistols, 3 Deagles and a Glock. And Liquid's got everything they could possibly need and more with the AK in Nitro's hands. Shocks pushed up to party. Likely going to get some audio cues soon if Complexity aren't careful, but you do see Fang wise up and start walking slowly but surely. He is surrounded.
If they realize he's here, this is a really tough spot to get out of for Shocks. And yeah, maybe they're just pistols, but... Oh, no one checks, no one clears! They're not aware of the position, and now with Glock trying to clear him out, he's going to feast. Fang eventually puts him down, but that's so much damage done in a position that could have been really abysmal. So well done for Shocks. Really nicely dueled, but okay. The flop got the drop on a leash. There's no way to rhyme a leash with a flop or drop. John.
No, there is not.
On the bad cop of Liquid's roster.
Don't stop, Mike. Just let it go.
I'll get there, John. I'll get there.
Oh,
I'll let you know when I figure it out. When I puzzle through the source of my brain. A bomb making its way over. Player in water. Nitro holds the line, and now he's got support. So it's all falling apart. The chances are just about gone. Floppy will try with the hand cannon. He's even got the rifle. If he could get one more kill, that'd be nice, but Naf just limps through.
That's a great recovery from Liquid. Down 5-2. They get 3 in a row now, tie up the score line, but that was an eco round for the most part by Complexity, aside from the AK that Grim had. Now they're going to have a full-on buy, though. 4 AKs, the op for Junior. He doesn't have any utility aside from the smoke, but I don't think that's going to fuss him too much. Over on Liquid, though, we got the double op. OC and Shocks rocking that. 2 AKs now and the A1S. Here we go to determine who will claim the lead. Will it be Complexity to hang on, or can Liquid take their first lead of this map? Floppy's going to smoke off the Molotov, throw a flash out, and just push right on forward into water. No hesitation at all. He's looking towards info hop. Maybe catch off ahead, but nothing showing yet from Liquid's side. And Floppy's just going to post up here, lurking around. Might have some reinforcements in Grim shortly, but I think it's more so Grim trying to support the push into short A.
Pushing towards long A. They have rustled the op on back. Oh, Shocks though with the secondary. That's it's not going to land, and he gets deleted. So that double op maybe not the ticket here for Team Liquid. We'll see if they reevaluate that one going forward. But for now, it's that primary. It's OC. He's going to try and lay down the law, patrol his site, and force his will upon them. Certainly, of all rosters in the world, Complexity is perhaps the most keenly aware of exactly what OC can do. But this double push for information gives so much control over towards Liquid. They have no concerns about being an issue. Are they going to go for the fast flank, or do they rotate back to support? That's the big question. OC finds one, and Naf's going to come in to fight with him. Naf will be able to trade, will be able to follow up, and he's making noise on the site. We'll stay into the 2v2, and that bomb will eventually make its way to be planted. But in the meantime, Nitro could be a thorn in their side, in their backside, and he hasn't been spotted. That bomb goes down. Nitro can't deny, and now he has to play slow to avoid giving the audio cue. Do they clear him? Do they suspect the positioning out towards long? They're expecting the bathrooms, but long?
You're not watching long.
They have no idea. Well, they just don't expect him to have gotten up, so he's going to take the one, and it's going to be left to Floppy. Junior right now. Floppy, how did he get past you? I don't know. But what I do know is that Liquid win the round.
Yeah, both of these 2v2 retakes going Liquid's way in a clean fashion. Nitro and Elite this time dealing the killing blows. And still, I mean, I understand why Junior might have trying to have been supporting short A, but I mean, Floppy's already there, so maybe have an eye on him somewhere else.
I think the thing is, right, they
assume no one got past, right?
Yeah, they're not thinking that Nitro found that window to slip in towards long, right? They're thinking he's rotating through connector, in which case Floppy should have vision. But Nitro gets through beforehand, and they don't anticipate this spot. So it's a really nice bit of movement, a really nice bit of maneuvering from Nitro, shall we say. And it does just completely annihilate the post line.
Smoke going to get tossed in there to Monster by Liquid. So Complexity going to have to wait a little bit longer to come through. And Elige is waiting for the push to come through these tunnels. And, oh man, Nitro as well. This could be a... Oh, I thought it was going to be... Nitro getting the frags, but Floppy is the one who gets Nitro. Elige still waiting at Sandbags. Only delivers 1 and 2 frags. Fang comes back to get 1 in his favor, but looks like it's going to be Liquid to strike right on back. Shox and Naf get 3 combined, and that'll be 7-5 for Liquid.
So a lot of these rounds are starting hairy for Liquid, and then the recovery is quite nice. I mean, most of these last few rounds, the last 3 or so, have come down to the mid-round, right? Where Liquid's either playing with a deficit or an even situation, even into the post-plants, right? They're doing a phenomenal job of recovering from those. So very impressed currently with what Liquid's being able to do when they're down numbers, when they're down into just a few players and Complexity. That's where these rounds are getting away from. That's where they're slipping away. Now they're going to try and go for a fast play with just the pistols. Obviously not much to work with into this one, but they'll take the space towards Fountain and pressure on in. The one player maybe occasionally gotten bullied his shots, but really he's been giving as good as he's gotten. And this round, he'll start giving early to the tune of 2 kills.
Yeah, very clean round coming through from Liquid. Complexity, not much they could do as they were surrounded as soon as they tried to make that take towards Fountain and Party. And, well, Liquid delivering with the kills. And looking at that scoreboard, it's actually Shox at the top for the first time throughout these close qualifiers at 11 frags. Naf right behind him at 10. And then everyone else contributing right below them. If you look over at the Complexity side, JT at 11 is surprising. Yes, Mike?
If Elige gets 1 kill, it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, okay, we got to cheer for Elige now to get that.
Elige has to get 1 kill. No one else get a kill this round.
Then we'll screenshot it.
Yeah.
JT gonna move in here.
Do it for NA.
I mean, JT and Elige could engage right here. Good
round.
Shox.
All right, now everyone needs to get a kill. And then next round, I don't know. I'm not gonna keep track of that one. That bit's gone on long enough.
Shox
Junior's gun barrel's
spotted.
Yep. Yeah, he knows it's here. He's coming in for the backstab. He's fully aware, and though Junior might have an inkling, is he gonna affect the player close up? Yes, is the answer. Okay, Junior. Nice awareness. Spidey sense tingling. He'll get away from that engagement.
Wow. That's a wicked shot from Junior, especially since his position was known by Shox.
They're going for it. They're sticking in the smokes. They're going to go through this. They've done it before. Punished before. This time, both dropped. They got away with it. No one was here. This time, Complexity are waiting for them. And now it's a dire situation on the site. Coming on in. Naf can't find much more, and OC might have to consider the safe. A 1v3 with an op retake from this angle. They've got cash. They've got money to spare, but this could just be throwing away their life. Ozzy's going to see if he can't get anything for free. If he can't get anything clean here with the alt peering in from heaven, but with nothing found. Is he going to stick around? Is he going to attempt this? Grim just under the lip should be able to punish if he peers over, and indeed he will. Now he knows. Now he knows, and he's waiting for the response, but he's just going to have to back away. They're giving him nothing, not an inch. And as he comes out, Junior will collect on that kill. Back into the corner. There was no escape. That'll be Complexity finding their 6th, putting a halt to this run of rounds from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I thought Shox would have been able to give Liquid an edge in that round and maybe help them deliver a 7th. But Junior was just so quick on the trigger, and 3 frags in that round with the big green. It's good to see him starting to connect. So Complexity a chance to make it as close as possible here at this half with a 7th round victory, but Liquid do have another full-on buy-up, and they are going to return to the double op. This time, though, the second op is going to go into Naf's hands instead of Shox. OC, primary, though, he's going to be waiting at long A by his lonesome. Support in the bathrooms was Shox, but he's going to back off towards the A side proper and maybe just wait on the flank at long. Elige, once more, posting up in water. He doesn't want Floppy to have his way pushing out there. OC waiting, fires away, but misses on his shot completely. That lets JT take control of long, and I don't think Floppy's going to want to challenge. Excuse me, I don't think OC's going to want to challenge anymore. He backs off a little more passively, and now Shox is going to hold that close angle. In the meantime, though, Elijah is going to get dropped by Grim. That's some space opened up at the B site, and it gives something to think about on the Liquid side, because Complexity aren't actually going to go towards B. They're continuing their trek onto the A site for now.
Interesting what Alicia's been doing for the team on Overpass. He's such a boundary pusher for them right now. Hasn't been having a lot of success with it, to be quite frank. Certainly not by his standard. Oh, shot player. They got the double setup here. They are going to be able to collect Fang, and the problem is his teammates weren't in position to react off of it. So despite the fact that they know two or at least one player's focused in, they can't exploit, but OC getting caught in the open. This could be bad. Meanwhile, Noise goes in towards B, but what does Shox do? He hears the noise. He hears Junior coming around, but Junior still hits it. Shox had to have that one. And as it is, the round falls by the wayside, and we'll go into the half with just a one-round lead for Liquid.
And found myself, the ones who told me back then, be true to who I am, ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying to victories like we in high tides. I'm getting my prize, only thing my eyes is locked in on, $500,000 mine. I want it right now, don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring more to my eyes, cause the whole gang winning. I done gave my life, odds low, but we did it, dang we. And we always moved in, never on the same thing. Now our lives are highlight reel. We like the thrill, this life's ideal, the hype is real.
We know it. It's just the way we live, we own it. Cause stop, we love the thrill, we know it. It's just the way we live, we're grown-up kids.
Stroll in the park, man.
Yeah, stroll in the park. There we go.
I went for a stroll through some parks today. It's beautiful out here.
So,
now we're into the action. A place that looks much like the Overpass Park, although there are fewer explosions and gunshots, fortunately.
yes, hopefully.
Bang only gets one. I mean, look, I live in Philly. It's not always fewer.
That's yeah, good point.
But no. I kid. Philly is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Merely playing into stereotypes there. It's a great city. Highly recommend. Also, great positioning here for Liquid. They've got the bomb down. They've got Shox in deep. They've got the insurance policies in the back end. I mean, this is about an ideal 4v4 setup that they could have, and Complexity are all just coming from one side, so they're going to need to pistol their little hearts out to be able to bring this through, and OC and Shox have no interest in allowing it. They are dropping bodies here.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Oh.
It's going to be fine. OC hitting it with a burst fire. Shox, again, maybe going to want to take back one of those, but it's okay. It's no problem.
Jeez, OC, all right, settle down. Two very rapid-fire frags coming through there after Complexity were threatening, but that's a great way for Liquid to kick off their T side. Honestly, coming into this map, both of our favorites was Complexity to come through with the win here, given the way Liquid was performing yesterday against EG, but I don't know if it's necessarily a sure thing. Certainly far from it with this two-round lead.
Oh, with neither of these teams is any map going to be a sure thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge amount of talent and firepower, but there's a lot of room to rumble, a lot of time for this map to play on out. We'll have to see if they can avoid the perils of the deep round. JT trying to collect here and spam through. Does do quite a bit of health damage. Elige has to hop away, but he loses Shox in the meantime. The bullet that was perhaps meant for his comrade finds Shox. And he'll just have to be a little sad about that one.
Yeah.
Any naffers in chat? Any naffers? No naffers in the site because he slipped away.
I'm not sure if they're going to slip away permanently from that B site, but for now, Naf is completely falling off it. I think there is some presence in connector. Yeah, Elige is still here, so he's just going to have a peek, make sure no one's coming in on the flank, and likely rejoin his comrades there, pushing up the A site. And yeah, Nitro actually with the bomb on his back leading the charge here. And Elige will be joining him into those bathrooms. Everyone regrouping here on Liquid's side. They're going to have to go for their hits soon. There's only 35 seconds left on the clock. And Naf at long A with the MAC-10 isn't exactly a desirable prospect considering Junior's watching it with the scout and also up against these Deagles. That said, he is closing the gap very quickly. He finds the gap in the timing and takes down Junior. That's going to help a lot. Floppy does manage to take him down, and it is a 3v3. Time is running out. These Deagles become ever more powerful with how low the clock is getting, but Elige gets the important one on JT. Fang has to clutch it, and he won't. Elige gets the last two.
Elige bailing Liquid out of that one, perhaps. Still, it's very messy. I mean, honestly, if the timing towards the long had worked out a little bit differently, that could have been catastrophic for Liquid.
Yes.
So I think maybe they're breathing a sigh of relief in that one, feeling a little bit better about their chances now. Obviously, we're going to get the actual eco through from Complexity, and apart from a nade stack purchased up, there's not much to show for it. Now, where are these Ichis going? Triple nade stack. Players moving down towards lower. It's for the fast monster play? They're not going to find anyone if they pull these pins. What is this predicated on? Is it if they see presence construction? They're holding for something. Some sort of a tip-off. And they're not going to get it. Because there's only Naf here. And he's just chilling. He's just maintaining this presence outside with the MAC-10. Just to give his team the option of bailing out if they ran into the stack up on A.
Yeah, now spot
Yeah,
that.
two HEs in.
Yeah.
They're not getting him. They're not getting him.
That is what they were waiting for, though. They wanted to toss the nades into Canal as the players came out for Monster, but it just didn't pan out at all. And now they've gone to the A side anyway. It was just Naf. And, well, Naf with a couple of frags. And now Floppy manages to at least get one onto Shocks, then upgrades himself to a 5-7. But I don't like his odds in this 1v4 attempted retake. He has no reason not to go for it, of course, since Complexity are on the eco. So maybe he can take some guns out of the hands of Liquid or grab an AK and bring it over to next round.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. Might get a 5-7. But, while Naf does go down, in the immortal words of Marshawn Lynch, he's going to give as good as he gets... sorry, let me see if I can get this right. He's going to give more than he got, though.
Okay.
And he did, in fact, give
Floppy.
more. Now Floppy's giving a bit. Oh, gonna go for the stick
No
on smoke.
way.
That's a little bit too bold there. And OC is wise to his former comrades' tricks. Still, they do take 3 bodies out of that round. It's a little more expensive than perhaps Team Liquid would like. Obviously, that T side is pliable and able to deal with the losses.
Yes.
But now it represents an opportunity for Complexity as the guns come out.
I still like the play from Floppy, right? It's only a MAC-10. He gets $600 more with the frag that he finds and tries to go for the defusal. Why not? It's unlikely, but you never know. And in the end, it is still Liquid to take the round, but Floppy builds up a nice bit of economy and helps him purchase utility a lot more comfortably. 4-round lead for Liquid, but Complexity do indeed have those rifles up and running now, and Floppy's going to go to familiar territory here into water. He could catch OC off guard, I'm not sure.
Oh my
Fang, though,
goodness.
gets 2 onto Elysian.
All right.
Shocks that was through the door, and after it broke, getting Shocks. OC will get a response here onto Fang, but takes a ton of damage in the process, and JT finds the feet of Naf and sprays him down until he falls to dirt. 4v2 in favor of Complexity, and the HP heavily in their favor. 374 versus only 110 amongst both OC and Nitro. They don't have much map control either, Mike.
No, they don't. They have no idea what's going on up top, so they're going to continue their efforts towards B, it seems. We do still have a minute on the clock, so they could bail out of this, but they'll group. If they're heading on in, what's the play? Nitro throws flashes over to allow OC in? Perhaps. OC doesn't have much health, though, obviously, so you'd assume that Nitro's either going to bait off of OC or be the point man. In these number games, they still need things to work out, and OC's gone exploring. And he's dead. Boom. There it is. All on a Nitro now. The in-game leader has to do it all. He'll try and flash his way on in, but here comes the peaks. and JT will get the better of him. A great round for Complexity. We talked about the opportunity created by the damage they've done in the last. Well, getting through with 4 alive and absolutely stumping Liquid. Well, make that a whole lot better. And this could actually be an eco. It's a force buy-in. Kind of a broken one for Liquid. No bomb plant here, and they're kind of on the ropes for a few rounds.
Yeah, the economy was a little unbalanced, so I understand Liquid just saying, you know, let's just full send it, buy whatever we can. And it is going to be 2 AKs and a scout and 2 Tech 9, so it's not the worst case scenario, but we'll see how it pans out. A little bit of utility. In fact, 8 pieces, 4 flashes, 2 mollies, and 2 smokes for them to go for an execute. And they're actually going to favor going out towards Party and Playground. 3 of them, in fact, and it will be NAF as well. The lurk here into connector is Shocks with the Tech 9, hoping to catch off some rotations.
Coiled snake here over towards A. Starting to marshal their forces. Prepare for the hit on in. That'll be the Oppa Junior to receive them. This is that first point of contact. Does have Grim in tow, but as JT goes looking in towards connector, Shocks gets himself a little bit of an upgrade, and now, big trouble. And he gets past the doorway as well, so he's out. Nitro gets another. It's all falling apart here. Grim dropped. It's clean so far for Liquid. And while Junior will finally collect now for Molotov in, make sure he can't do anything more. This bomb is going down, and it's a prime scenario for Liquid. Another play in towards connector. Shocks is looking for it. Are you prepared to spot his beat? You are indeed. Fangs got it. He spotted his boot just peering over the ledge, and he's prepared for the clear. So now the retake is on in a big way. If Shocks gets that kill, I don't even know that they go for this.
No.
But as it is now, working their way up long, they're taking a ton of space. The next big test is this man, Nitro, hanging out behind the truck, tucking in by the fence. He's got to stand strong, and he will not be able to. It all falls to the players in the bathrooms. Can they flush Complexity's hopes down the toilet? Elige gets one, but only one, and time is running out. It's just going to have to be the stick. Junior sticking it. The spray goes through. Junior's got no health, and the bullet will find him. Elige, 1 bullet needed. 1 bullet connects. Liquid steal that round.
Wow. Right at the end of the magazine, Elige connects on the shot, and Junior goes down. It's a shame Junior didn't have just a bit more health, because I think he would have survived if he could absorb 2 bullets there. Either way, it is going to be Liquid striking right on back after Complexity garnered a little bit of something there in that previous round, and the lead goes back to 4 in favor of Liquid. Timeout going to be called here by Complexity to talk things over. They are going to be able to buy up pretty much fully into this next round. JT on the Deagle, but everyone else has the 3 A1Ss and the op. What is short is utility. 3 smokes, 3 flashes, but no Molotovs to fend off an attempted aggressive push if Liquid chooses to do so.
They're just going to have to shoot their way out. Huge swing round here. It's actually, you know, it's funny to think. There were 3 players surviving. 2 of them relatively healthy, if not fully, and Junior limping. If one of the healthy players goes for that stick in the smoke, not actually sure Elige finds them.
I agree. I was surprised to see them taking the fight.
I mean, if you'd assume that double peeking there, right? You have a fair amount of advantage, and well, Grim has a fair amount of advantage just going into the fray immediately here. Spots OC as well. Tags and drops. He's out. He's gone. Instead, it's going to be them trying to make some inroads here. And Shocks now alone on an island. Has to try and bail out, get himself an upgrade, but it's not gone well for Liquid in the early engagements. They've been rebuffed fully here, John.
Yeah. Complexity doing a fantastic job. Now you see Shocks sneaking onto the bomb site. Great flashbang thrown by Naf to open up the space, and Shocks gets the headshot onto Flop. 4v3.
There's still 1 in water.
I don't know, but they see Grim go down, and he gets tagged down to 0 now. There's still the player in water. Naf's aware of it. Yeah, JT gets 1, but that is it. What a great recovery for Liquid, and it looked like Complexity were going to put a stranglehold in the round. The flashbang is thrown by Naf, and he supports Shocks, but now Naf is going to go down. Complexity still a chance here. More than that, in fact, in the 2v1. Shocks is trying to be really cheeky here. I'm not sure if this is going to pan out for him, but they won't expect him to be there at the very least.
They do have a smoke. So someone can just get on this bomb. And they're gonna do so. Junior doesn't get collected. Fang's got the shots, and that's going to be the round for Complexity. So they snatch it back. After letting it slip in the last, they managed to right the ship just a little bit, but a continued bomb plant here and 3 players dropping.
Yep.
tells me that maybe we're not out of the woods just yet. What does Liquid want to do? Do they want to go back into the Rumble? They do. Shox is gone for the buy. Is everyone else going to follow him, or are we getting Shox Hero AK? Shox Hero AK.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. We'll see how that hero rifle does. Not sure I love it, but hey, why not? Get a little flare. Shox is top of the board for the team right now, so see if you can stack some numbers on top of that.
Naf gets a Wandig onto Floppy. All right. Maybe not hating on that solo AK as much now. It's a 5v4. They can't recover the rifle, unfortunately, just yet.
I still don't like it. I'll stick by my
Okay.
guns. I'll stick by my guns. Unless Naf just kills everybody.
Watch.
You know? I mean, Naf might just kill everyone, but that still doesn't justify the rifle buy, right? That just
True.
justifies giving Naf deegs.
Well, unless Shox comes out here and gets 2.
Bet you he dies.
He got 1? What's
Yeah.
you go down?
Yeah, he did. He did get 1. I'll allow it. Naf dropped. Even exchanges. 2v2. It's not a bad situation for Liquid. It's pretty prime. With a bomb plant here, all can be forgiven at this juncture. Molotov's way too late. It doesn't even flush them into the crosshair. They're past. A bit of lack of coordination there, perhaps, for complexity, and now they give a chance for Liquid to dig in. Into the tight angle is Nitro. He's here. The pistol trying to bait for it, but there's the second player. The turn from JT! He spins on a dime, and he brings this round through. So close for Liquid. But frankly, bomb plant, 4 kills, considering 1 rifle was invested in, that's pretty dang prime. Yeah, Shox might be on a Mac 10 in this round, but hey, who cares?
Oh, it doesn't matter at all. Not to mention the economy for complexity is shot. They don't have really much to invest after this one should they lose this round. So they have 3 A1Ss, the op, and I think Fang's going to have to settle for an MP9, something like that. But there you go, MP9 for Fang. But that is such a good round for Liquid, given what they invested, like you mentioned. And now they're going to call a timeout to talk things over. Complexity do win the round, but it was so very difficult for them to pull it off at the very end. One thing to note, JT, the top frag, all right. Not something you see every day, but he's dropping 20, not only leading his team, but leading the server, Mike. Usually setting up his teammates with some excellent flash usage, but this time taking care of business by himself.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And it always does kind of... It's weird, because I feel like for most teams, when your in-game leader's popping off, it's a bad thing. For complexity, I feel like it's always JT just getting nuts entries. This half, obviously, less about the entries, but more about him just pulling off some pretty clutch rounds, some pretty clutch plays.
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because in fact, JT is going for entries more than any other player on the squad, 29.5% of the time, and he has a 53.7% success rate.
He is their entry fragger.
Yeah.
They moved Fang off the roll. They put JT in it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Put Fang's in a lot more lurks, you'll note.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, no, I was going to say, Fang is not even the secondary entry fragger. It's Grim.
Mm-hmm. They shift up who's away from the pack sometimes, but you'll note that especially on the T sides, obviously we're not there right now. They do give Fang a lot more individual responsibility.
Yes. Yes.
Which is interesting in his development as a player. You got to remember, he's so young still. I don't even know if he's turned 20 yet. He probably has, actually. Have I lost track of time?
I think he's still 19.
No, he's 19. He's so young.
Yep.
He's so young. He's continuing to develop. Alish, doesn't care how old or young you are. He'll eliminate JT all the same. Doesn't care how well you're playing. Alish is here. 35 seconds, though. Time's starting to get short for Liquid. They're going to have to go for this hit, and the op is poised. Once again, the question's going to be what happens towards Long. Junior's gotten caught from Long a few times by now. He's still sailing in. He's going to have to back away. And on comes the take. They're moving in. Can Grim hold the line? He gets 1. That's it. 1 and done. But a player out by the truck, and Junior, again, exchanges his life. 15 seconds. They're just trying to buy time. They're trying to buy clock, but that bomb's now going down, and it cannot be denied. No flank up means they have no chance to stop this. And now, Team Liquid with the advantage in the post, and just one player remaining. Fang may just have to back away.
Oh, and this is... he might be able to upgrade to an A1S. There's one right below him. Yeah, he's got the A1S. He's going for this, in fact. Wow,
All
he's
right.
going to get the headshot onto Naf. And now Lige is quite low, and Fang doesn't have the kit. That's the biggest problem right now. So he has to find these frags extremely quickly.
Has to bail.
He's going to have to wide swing. He's going to go for it. He fakes the defusal, and now Fang not going to get anything. OC finds the headshot, and that will be the round in favor of Liquid. So what I was going to say before is that we go back to the previous round where Liquid did so much damage with very little purchased up, and that means the economy here for Complexity is just in tatters.
It's cratered. It's cratered. And a reminder, this is Cole's map pick. So, once again, we're seeing maybe some of those CT side woes come through on them. They've done a really good job in attacking halves and just been unable to seal the deal. We've seen that against Godsent for sure. And it's maybe a bit of a worrying trend here against, well, obviously against this caliber of competition. If you have any weaknesses, it's good. Still, there's time to play. Plexi are no strangers to the comeback either. They'll go for the force buy in this one. Got a rifle on Grim. Grim's gonna go hunting. Ooh. Not quite on there, but not far off. What does Junior get with a scout? Nada. At least not yet.
Liquid taking their time. They're going to send a couple of players now fading back towards T-spawn, likely to join up with Nav. And that will be the play. 57 seconds left on the clock. They have the opportunity to pincer in here from Connector, but there is some threatening positioning coming through from Complexity. JT spots out Lige, but Lige will not go down. He finds Grim, and JT is also exposed, and he falls as well. 5v3 in favor of Liquid. Complexity do have some presence here on the B side as Liquid are coming up forward, but it's only going to be one frag for Fang, and Junior left isolated and alone for only a moment before Shox' bullet finds his head. 14-10 in favor of Liquid.
Feels like this is just such a rock steady game for Liquid in terms of individual performance, right? I mean, Shox 1919 is real nice, but it's as even keeled as it can get, right? Naf just above him with 20, tops the board, but it's very even. They are cruising through this, it feels like, and they're doing exactly what they need to in the critical rounds, in the rounds where they need to punish Complexity to keep it on track, and that's nice to see, because you're not needing a pop-off, you're not needing anything special. They are just playing really well. Lige, gonna try and bring in something special, but he's so blind and he's dead.
The trade with the OC is going to just tap away at Grim and JT, and that's diffused and dealt with very quickly. Complex only have 2 players left, and they are both onto that B site. Liquid are heading to A, so a rotation will need to come through, but this is almost certainly going to be a 15th round for Liquid, as Complexity have so very little to work with. One thing to note...
Mac 10 money. Never mind. No Mac 10 money for Naf. For Naf, we'll have to wait to feast on his ecos for another round. May not get a chance, though. I don't think there's another eco round coming through here, John.
No.
What were you saying before I interrupted you about Mac 10s?
No, I was just going to say, one thing to note is that Liquid aren't necessarily relying on Elige as much here. Although he has 10 assists, he's doing a ton of damage, but only 16 frags. I say only, it's still good compared to everyone else. But another contributing factor is Shox, right? Because he's usually found not really able to do much fragging on the board. He's more of a supporting player now, but to get 19 frags out of him, and now a 20th is excellent.
Certainly. Certainly looking very good for them. And Elige was daunting earlier in this bracket as well.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal when we watched him on the first day of the tournament. Qualifier. It's not a tournament. Got to remind myself of that, folks. Remember, folks, this is just the If this is the caliber of games we get in the qualifier, if this is the kind of game we get in the qualifier, oh, my God. I can't wait for the main event. This is the qualifier. We have Godsent. We have Complexity. We have Team Liquid. We have Evil Geniuses. The best of the region, squaring off in the qualifier. It's just a shame that we can only bring 2 through.
It is. Speaking of the other match, Godsent is actually up 10-5 over EG on Overpass.
Oh, pricey. Godsent was phenomenal when we watched him yesterday. So
They were.
I mean, frankly, I'm really excited to see what that team does. And Oh, this is a bit of an engagement here out towards Fountain. Oh, another kill goes through for Nitro. That's a big pickup to find. Grim was looking like he was going to stop them in their tracks, but as it is, advantage Complexity in a round that they have to win, obviously. They cannot lose any more. The back off will go away. Naf and Nitro rerouting. They've chosen a new destination in their GPS, and they're getting the instructions through. Turn right at club. Let's see if it can send them home, or if they might need a little bit longer on this road trip. That metaphor has officially been run over. Beat to a pulp here, John. But what hasn't been is this site take, and taking the extra time to rotate for Liquid means that there's actually only one player here. Feng's moved off into heaven. Not quite off, just a different spot. Here comes the play. Here comes the take. A player in connector as well can rotate quickly, so this is going to be everybody in the right position for Complexity before you know it. Does the bomb go down? It does indeed. That won't be denied as Junior chooses to go around the long way. Out Monster. Do they expect it? Do they expect the wrap? Is Naf ready for this? He's thinking about it. He's got the inkling, but he doesn't have the shot, and now it's all onto Nitro. First shot hit, but no more. The defuse will come through, and Complexity will live to fight again.
Whew, and breathe a sigh of relief there because Liquid were playing that pretty darn well. Thankfully, a Junior was in a good position for them coming up from Monster, and Naf just, I mean, he had an idea that someone would be there, but he was not aware of the fact that Junior had already made it that close and just wasn't prepared to take the shot. So Junior capitalizes, gets the spray down, and Complexity stay alive with an 11th round. Need 4 more to push this one to overtime, and they're going to need to win at least 1 more against the full-on buy from Liquid, who've got the 4 AKs and the op coming through once more. OC, we've talked about many a time before, leading the charge at 22 frags on the board for his squad. Let's see if he can seal the deal here, or help his team seal the deal. 2 players heading towards B, 2 towards A, and 1 into mid, maybe? No, Naf's going to actually back off into the upper tunnels and grab that bomb. What direction he goes in might indicate where Liquid is going to hit, and it will be the B site. At least for now. Another smoke going to come through and might push Liquid back.
Yeah, no commitment yet, and no deep angles, right? There's the boost up for Complexity, but there's no substantial control. That's a nice pick to find for Junior. Unpunished, and he spots the second player out here, so that's a bit of information, at least of where Nitro is. Does this trigger the rotation? It might be a little bit of the wrong read. Step from his teammate. The flashbang's good, but no! Floppy splits the difference. There's damage to both players and kills neither. Just cleaned up the other side of the map, so they just have to worry about the hit that's at their front. And with damage done, this could be something that gets cleaned, but it's going to be Grim who has to police them. Elysian and Nitro. Both low. Sorry, Elysian Shocks. Both low. In a 2v2. Tossing the box might just be enough, but they're not going to pull the trigger. That Molotov buys space to plant the bomb. The bomb now down. JT. And they battle back through the J's of the roster. Trying to bring it in. There's the dance of death. A no-scope hit for Junior, and the follow-up from JT. How is that what comes through? Junior flying through the air, hitting a no-scope, and they again just scrape this round through.
Junior was falling and he hits the no-scope. That was insane. I mean, just unbelievable that Complexity is able to pull that round off in such a fashion, like you mentioned. I was feeling like Liquid might have been able to close it out, but Complexity have something else to say about that. So we're going to get a timeout called here. And this is for Liquid to talk things over. And we'll have to see, what are they going to decide here, Mike? I mean, they have enough money to invest here. Do they go for it, though? Because OC and Nitro are a little bit low. They might have to settle for some SMGs or Galils. They have the 3-round lead. They can't afford to just take it easy here and not fully invest.
They can indeed. I think that might be the way they lean. Tech 9s? Tech 9s. It would be, I'm just saying this, folks, just putting this out into the world, the most NA thing ever to win on an eco. So what we do as a region. There's a Tech 9. I don't think it's enough Tech 9s. Also, Alicia's betrayed me with the I gotta ask him about the I gotta ask. I don't get it. I don't understand the love for it. So I need the pro opinion, because of course I am just some Joe. I need to know why the Why the Here it goes.
Could just be also the spray pattern they're more used to, right?
Yeah, but get used to it. 29 to glory, folks. Here comes the play. They're going to burst on towards B. 4 players grouped up. Fast play in. Lots of bodies here to receive for Complexity. I don't know what they've got on the tip-off, but they've got the tip-off. Just typed in chat. Go B. Won't. Towers. Bank going to find one. It's looking good for Cole so early. The SMG comes through. That's a little awkward for Floppy, but Grim will get them most. All. Not all. 3. He got 3.
Yeah, I like the idea from Liquid. You know, light buy, try to do something frisky and risky, and, well, Complexity punishes it immediately. Grim there dealing most of the damage and jumping to the top of the scoreboard, tied with JT now at 22 apiece. But everyone, as mentioned, is contributing on the Complexity side. Same for Liquid. AKs across the board now for Liquid, though. They don't have enough to invest into the big green, but as mentioned, OC is extremely capable with that rifle. More so than a lot of oppers. Now, gonna go through here into construction. Molotov to stick, and now he will make his play to sandbags. Extremely good with his space. I think he was spotted out there by the info hop from Grim. Grim is starting to spam on through. Alicia's actually connected on for quite a bit of damage with that spam. Goes down to 41. And he has to be careful now because the bullets keep whizzing by.
Here comes the move.
Nice Molotov.
Perfectly placed smoke. Fang's going to get himself a big pick, and, well, he is able to slip away as well before the trade comes through. A bit of tickle nade just to make life difficult for both sides, but as it is, as the smoke clears, it's Complexity standing with an advantage. And a counter boost coming through. Is this being watched? Oh, they've just given up the audio cue. I don't know if you want to go with this one. Someone heard this. They gotta know. Fang's looking for it. Fang's looking for it. He's got it as well. Oh, but Nitro and OC take advantage of that distraction to just swing out Monster. No one was watching. A blunder there for Complexity that might just cost them the game, though Grim has other things in mind. Another 3K for Grim. Back to back to keep them fighting here. He has woken up his monstrous form back on the server.
What a transfer there from Grim for the first 2, and then he gets the last one as he calms his crosshair down. Just well played by Grim. Told you he'd be the one to watch here, and he is carrying over his explosiveness from that previous BO3 into here. He talked about it last time when Junior was interviewed about Grim. He said, look, he just needs to get his confidence back so he can be a monster on the server again, and this is what he is becoming, and it's a great thing to witness, especially if you're an NA fan.
I'm trying to remember what the exact line was. It was something like he just needs to remember that he just wrecks everyone.
Yeah, something like that.
It was, of course, Junior's very eloquent way of speaking.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fundamentally accurate, right?
Yeah.
You know, just gotta remember that sometimes you can just stunt on them hoes, as the saying goes. Here comes a little bit of a fast play, perhaps, from Liquid. Very haggard by to try and seal the deal here in regulation, and they want the fight early. That nade is chunky. And look at this chase. Look at this from Fang. Fang spotting toes, dancing around the pillar, but it's Nitro who will lead this 2-step. Fang down for the count. That's an upgrade potentially given over. Indeed, it will be. No one's here to defend it. So that'll eventually be a rifle for somebody else on Team Liquid to carry into the fray.
I think OC's going to grab it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a blunder, you gotta say. Nitro picks that one up, drops his own gun for one of his comrades to retrieve, and they actually won't, so they're fine. No Galils. Okay. Who needs Galil?
He knows he's going to grab it, and he's looking around. He can't find it now. I don't know. It just disappeared.
What did Nitro do?
It went to the 9th dimension.
He sacrificed it. He alley-ooped it out of the wall.
Oh, there it is. Now. You got it.
All right. Gun's been found. Gun's been retrieved. Everything's good. Where are they going to go with this? 50 seconds. Finding that gun has actually cost them time.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting call from Complexity. They're playing the stack. They're leaving Junior very much on his lonesome, and that off is a gun prone to getting run down. He finds the first. And Junior taking that contact early is important because now a rotation can be on and he can maneuver. He wants to stick forward, doesn't want to back away. The utility's there. But Junior, tight in, is going to miss the shot. He gets run down. Huge kill for Nitro. Junior put himself in a tough spot, and he could not deliver. Now, Disadvantage in the retake. That bomb likely going down. Complexity need one more heroic performance. Grim is on the server. Perhaps he can deliver again, but it's an even tougher spot. He can't fight in the site. He has to battle his way back in even. And they're giving him nothing. They're hiding. They're talking. Now might be the first contact. He's done. He's dropped. And once again, Grim delivering, but this time it's Floppy who has to seal the deal. Shocks with the op. The smoke is on, but Shocks has hit the first. It comes down to the clutch, and Floppy up ahead of the smoke. He's losing time, and he's just going to have to go on the stick. Does Shocks realize he's on? No. Floppy's going to get it right under his nose. No, Shocks realizes in time, and that is Liquid snatching Complexity's map pick away just in the nick of time, just at the end there. The 16-14, and the W comes through.
What a timely peek from Shocks as well. Decides not to play it passively, goes around the